A writer, a photographer, on the road exploring a fascinating world, in a state of perpetual motion, constantly departing while always arriving, seeking a window into an ever-changing universe. This is WION Traveller.
1 week in the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan can get pretty action-packed. Last week we landed in Amman after a 12-hour journey that drove us straight into the rejuvenating embrace of the Dead Sea. There we slathered on some mud, floated aimlessly about, and read some old English county newspapers for a lark and a laugh. Sufficiently restored, we returned to sample the charms of Amman. There we shopped, ate, gorged, and didn't skimp on the dessert. At the city's spirited Rainbow Street, we caught a local covers band in action and met city residents who charmed, well, at least one of us. At the ancient Greco-Roman city of Gerasa, we played the fool and even sang a tune.
Looking at the big blue sky, thinking whether you and I will ever fall in love.
Aqaba, Jordan's only coastal city, is all about sun-kissed loveliness. Stirred by the crystal-clear waters of the Red Sea, Aqaba's cocktail of Middle Eastern culture and a laid-back beach holiday vibe is refreshingly bracing.
We are in Aqaba and we are going swimming. Well, Charles, you got all of them?
Yeah, with
Okay, lovely. Thank you. Hallelujah, I say.
Alright. Where are we going? Family pool?
We're going to the sea. Which way? Look at that, will you? Will you look at that? Now that's what we're talking about. Jordan is not just about history and culture and food. It is also about getting out there and having a really good time at the beach.
The beaches in Aqaba are lined with resorts. Non-residents like us can pay a daily fee and use the facilities.
Looking at the big blue sky, thinking whether you and I will ever fall in love.
Home to some of the most pristine coral reefs in the world, the Red Sea is a valhalla for diving and snorkeling. But these shallow waters are so unbelievably clear that just swimming underwater is a heck of an experience.
Swimming in the Dead Sea.
It's not the Dead Sea, it's the Red Sea, Johan.
Swimming in the Red Sea. Not bad. This is delivered beyond expectation, hey.
You betcha.
Looking at the big blue sky, thinking whether you
What's an afternoon at the beach without a spot of beach volleyball?
Aqaba. You want a holiday in Jordan? Fly to King Hussein Airport, Aqaba, have a blast, leave, go to Wadi Rum, go to Petra, go to Amman, do the whole cultural historical thing, come back to Aqaba to fly out. Because folks, this is pure holiday. This is the holiday vibe. This is the holiday vibe. This is the holiday.
Don't miss this.
Aqaba is Jordan's only coastal city, and you can see Israel and Egypt clearly lying across the water on the western banks of the Red Sea. We're heading north from Aqaba tonight. We plan to lay our hats in the town of Wadi Musa. As the sun sets, the clouds gather and the weather is beginning to look ominous. We've got our fingers crossed because tomorrow we're going to see what the fuss is all about. A wonder of the world, no less.
It's 5 degrees. It'll go up till 8 till noon, and It feels like one, and yeah, it sure does feel like one. Okay, folks, we are in the southern part of Jordan. We landed in Amman, we've been around Amman, that's on the northern side. Now we've come down south to Petra. Now, Petra is a wonder of the world. And I'm super excited to see it because you know how it is when you go to the Taj Mahal. You know how it is, we all know about the Taj Mahal. But when you actually go there, it's impossible not to be awed by it. And Petra is this ancient city which has been carved into rock in the desert. And I believe it is absolutely spectacular. But the crazy bit is, yesterday when we were coming here, there was snow on the road. Did you know it snows in Jordan? I just didn't know that. It's amazing that this small little country has desert, it has mountains, it has snow, it has the Dead Sea, it has the Red Sea. It's, you know, like you can go across Jordan in one day if you drive from dawn to dusk, and you can literally see a diverse topography ranging from mountains all the way to the lowest point in the world. So folks, I have to say, if you come into Petra to look at this wonder of the world, you need to layer up because apparently it gets crazy hot and it can get crazy cold. So look at me. I've got a down jacket, I've got a shirt, inside that I've got some fleece, and inside that I've got a t-shirt. That's how cold it is. So if it starts getting hot, you can start, well, taking off layers. I think this place has been constructed to look like a medieval sort of settlement. Huh? Certainly feels like it. I'm forgetting the name of this hotel. What is it called?
The Hayat Zaman. This hotel appears to be quite popular. It certainly got the setting right. Petra was an ancient town, and this place feels like a period movie set. I'm running a wee bit late.
Oh, look who's here! Look who's here! Look who's here! It is the castle! We were supposed to leave at 7, it's already 7. So I think we have precisely 10 minutes to pick up anything we want to pick up and get out of here.
What does that mean, huh? It's like Sonic Dukan from...
Exactly, right? Dukan means shop. Yeah.
It's a foggy cold morning, but at least it's not raining. Entry to the ancient city of Petra is Wadi Musa, a spectacular valley with sheer barren mountains within which lies a town by the same name that literally translates into the Valley of Moses.
I love Petra. Hard Petra. You remember your favorite Bollywood star? The one that you tried to copy in Punjab? Ow. Yeah. Ow. The guy who did ow, ow, ow.
Ow.
Right? So that was from
his connection to this?
That was from a movie called Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge, okay, in which he plays like a really tough dad of the girl, right?
Oh, the dad.
No, so hang on a second. Here, but before he did all those kind of like character roles, he was like a true blue like Bollywood villain. His name was Amrish Puri. He was a villain, and he played the villain in that Indiana Jones trilogy.
No way.
Yeah,
Wow.
and he was called Mola Ram, and he was a tough guy.
Yeah.
And he would say things like, "What are you doing, you fool?" I can say that. Yeah, what are you doing, you fool?
I'm sure that would come quite naturally to you too. As soon as you hit the walkway into Petra, a number of caves and tombs come into view. For years, many scholars thought Petra was a necropolis, which we now know is not true. We decide to get a better view from a vantage point, but end up stumbling upon what appears to be an inhabited settlement.
There's a bow. There's a bow in here, of course. Yeah. Oh, look at this cave. Oh, hello. Hello. How is it? What is this place?
Well, this is, we are trying to give life to the history, to the past. And a team of specialists, historians, anthropologists, and archaeologists, we made a scenario about how was the life, and then we tried to rebuild the historical scene, and about 40 people were employed from the local community. They were trained for, yeah, of
so
course.
they're quasi-Nabataeans.
Yes, yes. How to present Nabataean life.
So they actually live in these caves now? No.
Well, actually, we are not. We are doing this daily.
I see.
We offer it for free for visitors.
All visitors can come here?
Yes.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, every day, and it is fully funded by the Petra Regional Authority. So these people are from the locals. They are from the descendants of the Nabataeans, and they try to give life to the history.
Well, you certainly look like historical figures.
Yeah,
for sure, and very impressive
look
ones
at
too.
the face, the look, the dress. all these items were used by the Nabataeans. And we have a clear and solid evidence about all these details, which is presented actually in this project.
This is quite a remarkable recreation of a Nabataean settlement. There's a carpenter carving walking sticks, a holy man walking around with frankincense burning in a bowl, women praying to deities, another man carving sandstone. An Arabian nomadic community from the Negev desert. The Nabataeans lived between the 4th century BC and 106 AD and became wealthy trading in frankincense. They moved to this region and built Petra on account of its strategic location on the trading route that allowed them to tax caravans and monitor the trading routes.
But I have to say, Johan, I mean, it's quite rather impressive. Look at like caves, man, and like these.
Yeah, so there's two types of caves here. Simple ones are just used for living in, and the ornate ones, the decorated ones, were tombs. Yeah.
You know, gunslinger sitting on these rocks, waiting for a caravan to pass by.
Some unexplored cave holding some grand treasure. You know?
I wasn't. Shall we head into the canyon then? Into the mouth of the lion. Or the tiger,
into the belly of the whale.
Into the mouth of the canyon. All right.
Shall we go?
Let's go.
Holy Grail, the natural gorge that winds through a fissure in the sandstone mountains at Petra, pretty much nails a visual dramatization of that phrase.
Can you imagine coming here, like the first man who discovered it in the modern ages, hey Johan? The first man to walk this wadi in like, you know, I don't know, in
2,500 years ago.
Well, no, forget that. But what about like, you were saying it was discovered and then lost many times, right?
Yeah.
So then, I mean, I suppose that, like the last time it was rediscovered, so to speak.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like words of wonder, man. Yeah?
Oh, absolutely. Called the Seek, this gorge was shown literally as the Holy Grail in the Harrison Ford classic Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Now, a chalice with the promise of eternal life is hard to beat, but visitors walking through the Seek are greeted with a dramatic reveal of the treasury, Petra's most magnificent edifice. Carved into the rock face in the 1st century BC, the treasury is, well, absolutely superlatively monumental. We made it.
Oh God, I'm absolutely. I think the word is gobsmacked.
I knew you were gonna say gobsmacked. I knew you were gonna say that word. Yeah,
really? Gobsmacked.
yeah, because it is a gobsmacking place, you know.
So the third column in was actually not standing when they found it. So they built that one up.
The third one?
Yeah, you can see that there's several lines on it, no? Well, it's called a treasury. It makes you think that it had something to do with taxation perhaps and trade, but that's actually a modern name for it.
Oh, really?
It was actually a tomb originally as a part of their society.
A tomb?
Yeah. All these really advanced and like really ornate ones were tombs.
You live in a cave, but when you're buried, you get buried in something. But this couldn't have been a regular guy. This must have been like some. If it's only one tomb, it must have been the king or something.
Yeah, it was constructed during the rule of what was it, Aretas IV, and that was somewhere around the 1st century.
Good lord! Yeah.
So it's 2,000 years old, huh? Can you imagine having built it?
No. I mean, I can't imagine us building this today.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing. Why is like everything extraordinary in this world made 1,000 years back? Why aren't we making stuff like this today? Today we just make these big glass and metal structures which are well.
And to think only that this is only one tomb.
How many of them are there?
There's hundreds.
Hundreds?
Yeah, there's hundreds. So if you keep going in this area, you could spend a week exploring something new every day. From the treasury, the street of facades leads to a large open area. On one corner lies the Great Theatre that has obvious Roman influences in its architecture. And on the other side lies the impressive urn tomb. The monastery, one of the largest structures in Petra, was actually a large dining hall. Petra was an entire Hellenistic city with over 800 structures that housed over 20,000 inhabitants. It's nearly impossible to see it in a week, let alone in a single day. We've just about scratched the surface. The end came slowly for Petra. First, the Romans and then the Byzantines laid siege to the city, but it survived. 2 major earthquakes in the 1st and 5th centuries shook its sandstone foundations, but the city persevered. What Petra couldn't withstand was the end of its mercantile relevance. New caravan routes from a new city in modern-day Syria that connected with the shipping routes from India and China pushed Petra into the cold. After a brief revival in the 12th century, this ancient city vanished from the maps of the world. It would stay there, lost in the fog of time, until its rediscovery in the 19th century.
Palmyra, the city that was responsible for Petra's demise a millennium back, flourished, and its excavated ruins remained one of the finest surviving relics of the Roman period in modern times. The interconnected histories of the two cities took a tragic turn this century when Palmyra was destroyed in 2015 by the Islamic State during the Syrian civil war. Petra, on the other hand, has been elevated into that hallowed list of human achievement, the wonders of the world, and remains an extraordinary legacy of a civilization that flourished 2,000 years back. As long as Petra exists, so will the Nabataeans. Fadi, who we haven't introduced yet. Okay, I think we need to go back a bit. When we landed in Jordan, they took one look at us and accurately ascertained that we were suspicious individuals and immediately attached a government official with us. But he's not a government official, but he's the guy who knows Jordan really well. So he's been helping us out. What is happening here?
Happening here is like a barbecue because today is Friday. So Friday is like a vacation for all the people in Jordan.
Right.
So that's why now you can see many of people making.
Oh, people just get out and do this, huh?
Yes.
Assalamu alaikum, how are you? Meraj.
आपका नाम क्या है?
मेरा नाम अवल.
अच्छा, मेरा नाम योहान है. नमस्कार.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Merhaba.
Now that is the craziest thing I've ever seen. A Jordanian and a Swedish man talking in Hindi.
बढ़िया है.
Today, the second day from something in the Arabic traditional called Sa'd al-Saud.
I see.
And today the temperatures go up. And you see all the Jordanian people, or a lot of them going outside.
You have a very big family.
Very
How
big
many
family.
family members do you have? Is it like a joint family?
India and Jordan and the East, it is have a similitude. They like to stay all together in one home. Me and my son, all them in one home, big home. My mother and my father is near us, and they can visit them anytime. And anytime they can go there because they stay with my brother also in the same home.
And you guys come from Madaba, that's
Yes,
the area you come
I am
from?
coming from Madaba. It's about 40 or 50 kilometers from here.
Alright folks, I'm sorry to break it up. It has been wonderful meeting all of you, but we must go. Alright sir.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you sir. Nice to meet you too. And that folks was our family outing on a Friday in Jordan. Fantastic. But I can just say that Jordanians are very friendly people.
They are very warm, and it is a lot like India in a lot of ways. You know, it's stuff that it's stuff that we are comfortable with. You know, like we haggle in India. We have big families in India, by and large, and yeah, we have, or at least used to have, big family outings like that. So it was lovely to see. On our way, folks.
As we head towards Wadi Rum, the topography changes and we're back to the desert that makes up almost 2/3 of Jordan. The North Arab Desert stretches into Syria, Iraq and Saudi Arabia, but is at its most spectacular in Wadi Rum. A cinemascopic expanse home to towering sandstone cliffs, endless sands and extraordinary stories of human endeavor. Don't miss the finale of our adventures in Jordan in a few weeks' time, in which Meraj retraces the steps of Lawrence of Arabia, and I contemplate what it would be like to be marooned on Mars. Stay safe, dear viewers, stay indoors, stay positive and make the most of your time at home. We'll certainly be doing just that.